Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatics channel. What's good with you? I'm joined here by Zoe himself here, and we're going to toss it over to him in a second here. But I want to thank you guys for coming through here and joining us for today. We've got a lot to cover. So Zoe, I'll go ahead and start with you, man. What is heavy on your heart right now when it comes to the NFL right now and what you're seeing? What are your thoughts for how the season's going so far?
The NFL season right now, I feel like it's just unpredictable because we seen everybody beat everybody, and teams we thought was gonna be good is actually good, and ain't nobody really stand out to me as of right now in the NFL for real.
That's right. As I look at the NFL picture right now, I look and I'm like, there's a couple teams right now that they are humming right now. Like they look good right now, but if there's one thing the NFL has taught me, when you peak this early in the season, bad things tend to happen usually, unless you have a marquee quarterback like a Patrick Mahomes or someone. And even then, they typically get hot around this time of the year, as we're seeing with the Chiefs. They're playing better football right now. But you've got the Denver Broncos, great defense there. Bo Nix, can he step up in the big games in the playoffs when they need him to? You know, and then obviously you've got some surprise teams like the Patriots out there. Currently, if the playoffs started today, they would be the 2 seed. But will that continue? Daniel Jones in the playoffs. We've seen Daniel Jones in the playoff before. Is he going to look different now? So many questions, man. So many questions.
Yeah, it
But
is.
I gotta
I
ask
like
you
what
for everybody. Yeah, go ahead.
I like what I'm seeing out of Indy though.
Oh yeah, balance. They've got true balance. And Jonathan Taylor, what's it? 3 games in a row with 3 rushing touchdowns, helping my
He
fantasy
been
team and my other league like tremendously.
he going crazy
Tremendous.
right now.
Oh yeah, but there's a lot to unpack there. But we got to start off with your Minnesota Vikings, man. So tell us, what should we expect? Because I feel like right now the Vikings, you got some pieces back there. Last week it was Aaron Jones. This week JJ McCarthy. So where should we expect the Minnesota Vikings to move forward from here?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. We just like at this point we taking them 1 week at a time, man. We need to go out there versus the Lions and pull up probably the biggest upset of this season and go play football. Like our head coach got to take the handcuffs off of JJ McCarthy. Don't put all the pressure on him. Let him just play football. Cause if not, and we get dog walk, that could start getting ugly. Cause after the Lions, we got the Ravens. So
Another team that got to get right. You've got them, the Commanders. They can't afford to lose this game coming up here. Otherwise, it's going to be looking pretty. A lot of teams they got to get right now.
yeah, the Commander who they
Houston.
play.
The Commanders play. Let me see who
But
they.
I see dude injured again. Scary Terry.
Yeah, I seen. Oh, they play Seattle. That's right. They play Seattle. And that's not the
Oh,
team you want to
I,
play if you ain't
yeah,
got your best guys there.
I don't know
That's
about
gonna be
that one.
tough. That's gonna be
Yeah.
tough. But just like a team like Houston, that's also 3-4 right now. But Houston, they got the Denver Broncos coming up. That's gonna be tough. CJ Stroud, he got to keep going what he had last game. Last game looked nice, but can you do it consistently? That's the question.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I
man,
don't know. The NFL interesting though, man. But I don't know. I got to see something out of JJ, man. I'm seeing things out of Bo Nix. Hell, even rookie quarterback this year. I'm seeing with like Drake May playing good this year. He playing real good this year. Like we all know about Jada Daniels, Caleb Williams, and I still feel like they took the wrong quarterback at number one. Cause he's still
they
like
didn't
the
get the
best
best.
quarterback in the NFL. Huh?
Yeah, they didn't get the best. But the thing for them is, as long as he turns out to be good, because there's just something about that organization where they just could not find a passer. So, but clearly they didn't select the best one. They had 2 options right after them that just, if you take either of those two, you're probably a little bit more excited. But as long as he turns out to be good and doesn't turn out to be a bust, that's all you can hope for at this point.
I don't know, man. Yeah,
But
and I know
man,
Bus,
a
but
lot to uncover. But we got the trade deadline coming up, man. So aside from obviously, is there anybody that you're eyeing for your Minnesota Vikings that would make you happy if they traded for perhaps a backup quarterback to be behind JJ McCarthy also?
no, hell no. It's JJ and Sam the rest of the season. It's JJ and the other rookie quarterback. I would mind that center. He in the Raiders. I forgot his name. His name like Jason Power Charge, something like that. But he a young center. He was there last year, and him and Pete Carroll really not getting along. I would like him because he's young, and we need a center. So, but other than that, you gotta take the season as it is, man. We gotta roll with the punches.
You're right. It's the only way for a guy to develop. The only way for a guy to develop, honestly. I understand
Yeah,
that too.
and
But
I look good.
go ahead and look at some of these picks from last week. And again, we didn't do the picks together last week, so it'll be very interesting to see how things played out. I know we started talking NFL, but of course we'll start off with college football. So let me
I got
share
my
my
head cracked on
screen.
that college football.
And again, we got Mr. JB in the chat.
Mr. JB, what's going on? I know my college football was hit.
Big enough. Perfect. So let's see how everybody's looking so far in this one for college football. All right, so this is where we currently stand at right now. So right now, I'm still rocking 5 plays. Got a 5-game lead over Old Man. But right now, Zoe, you're above 500, but it's close. It's close. 41 and 39 so far on the year, and it looks like. Wait, did you just not make any picks?
Yeah, I think that week
I mean, like
something
it
happened.
didn't save. Yeah, it didn't save, I guess.
No,
So because I see the 0 right there, and I'm like, I
that's
know
the
you ain't
week.
go over.
That's the week I did on my computer when I was live with y'all
Right.
instead of using my phone.
So, okay. But this is the most recent week here. Okay, so man, Old Man killed it. Looks like. Well, let's see through here. All right, so I wasn't the only one that fell for the Oklahoma trap here. I thought about it. I just didn't like the week prior how Ole Miss defense looked that bad against Georgia. I felt like they didn't stop anything. So that's why I ended up choosing Oklahoma in this one. I thought about it. I was like, you know what, Oklahoma. My questions with them is, I know Mantier is great, but sometimes the offense doesn't go out there and put up points. But I figured against this Ole Miss defense, maybe he might be able to put up some points there. I was wrong. They lost that one. But Zoe
Yeah,
got
that
this
was
one wrong. Ooh, fell for the South Florida trap as well. I did consider Memphis though. I gave it some thoughts, but same thing here. All right. Zoe did get Vanderbilt correct against Mizzou. And so Daniel, what's good? Says happy
Daniel. What's the
Wednesday and
deal?
hello everyone. Here's to you as well. Thanks for coming through. The BYU over Iowa State.
That was a good game.
Washington against the Fighting Illini. I slick did think about it. I did think about it. I think I talked myself out of that one though. But Zoe got that one. All right, you got, oh man, 41-3.
That was crazy.
41-3, man. Last time we went live, I know people were talking about Minnesota could make the college football playoffs
Yeah,
possibly, man. Had me thinking Minnesota was going to be good, but man, Iowa shut that down. And then goes Fresno State,
yeah, they got
over
dog walk.
61% of the population. Cincinnati over Baylor. Man, Baylor just kind of fell off. And then A&M, impressive victory against LSU there. They're number 3 for a reason. Some people even think that they could be number 1 at some point. I see they got a couple number 1 votes in the AP poll. I think they got like 2. But
Yeah,
yeah, they're number 3. They're
yeah, they
8-0.
balling right now.
And one thing you know about A&M, they're going to carry some pass rushers. And that's one thing they're going to carry some pass
For
rushers
sure.
each and every year. And Dakota State got that W. Giving the Jackrabbits their first loss there. All right, and you projected 47 point for that one. My man thought it
Angel,
would be a
what's the deal?
shootout. And what's good, Angel?
Hey, what about total
That
record that
that
week? What did I
coming
do?
through. So let's go ahead and see how Old Man did.
Oh, 7-3.
Went 7-3. Old Man went 8-2.
Damn.
Chose Old Miss. Took South Florida. Took Vanderbilt. BYU. Washington. Iowa.
Yeah, he was on the road.
Fresno State. Cincinnati, them, North Dakota, and he's projected 42 points. All right, so now it's my turn.
What was that final score?
It shows Oklahoma was wrong there. Shows South Florida, dang, starting off 0-2 right off the bat.
Oh,
Vanderbilt,
27.
BYU. I took the fight in the Illini. Iowa, ran with Fresno State. Took Cincinnati,
Cincinnati.
A&M. Dang, so nobody took LSU for the upset there. North
No.
Dakota State. Well, I was a little bit closer. I said 37
Yeah.
points. It was
You was
27.
almost there.
Oh, all right, now it's time for this week's pick. And see how this is going to play out. Now, what matchups do we have? Right off the bat, Vanderbilt at Texas. And so, Zoe, I got to let you go first with this one here. And is Arch Manning recovering from an injury right now, or is he going to be playing in this one? Does anybody know? Because I think he got hurt in the last game, if I'm not mistaken, when they had their comeback last
Oh,
week
he ain't
against
play?
Mississippi State. Like, I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, I think Arch Manning got hurt right at the time where Texas made that comeback. It's funny how that just when the moment he got hurt was when they finished their comeback against Mississippi State. Because I thought Mississippi State was going to beat them. I really did. So I stopped watching.
Damn. I'm going with the
Who
weight
you got
team
in this
anyway.
one? You said you'll take Texas anyways?
No, the weight team.
Okay, bet. Black Medicine in the building says Vandy too much offense and Arch was hurt late. Isn't that what sparked Texas though? The Arch injury? Not to be mean, but I feel like it helped. But yeah, JB's taking Vanderbilt here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go first with this one. Duke versus Clemson. I'm gonna take Clemson at home here. I feel it's gonna be a very close game, but I will take Clemson.
D Wood, what's the deal, my boy? D Wood, Skull State of Mind. Subscribe to my bro channel. But my Hurricanes. What they been doing lately, JB?
I mean, Hurricanes, aside from that one slip up there against Louisville Cardinals, they've been great. I forgot what they played last week, but I know that they blew them out. Like
Okay.
the other team scored first, but Hurricanes dominated right after that. So they
In
had
this
one slip up. They're in good position, honestly.
game though,
And you said Clemson, Duke is washed. Okay, who did you get?
oh
Who'd you
Black
pick,
Medicine
Zoe?
say Duke is washed.
That's what he said.
Shit, I gotta go with Clemson then. Good looking Black Medicine. I had Duke till he said that shit. I'm like, damn, for real. I got the home team.
Versus North Texas here. Now this is an interesting one to think about here. That one loss for North Texas, I feel like they lost to somebody that had the complete opposite record of them. Like they were winless and North Texas was like undefeated. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what happened there. But Navy, I haven't watched too much of Navy this particular season, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and rock with, let's see. I'm gonna rock with Navy here. I'm gonna rock with Navy. I had to think about that one though.
I ain't gonna lie. I want to go with Navy, but I gotta go with the home team for real. I just feel like Navy is supposed to win. They undefeated. I see 57% picking on. I'm going with the home team.
Okay. Let's just go. It says Meek Manziel will be the defensive coordinator for the Vikings next year. He says, bet. I'm hearing some rumors, guys, that James Franklin may be heading to Virginia Tech possibly. And so, I didn't think about that connection before, but that would make sense. He'd be able to, have some longevity there. They'll be okay with a 7-8 win season or whatever. So that would be perfect for him, honestly. Whatever can restore that program.
You ain't
Like
lying.
Medicine says, North Texas lost to Blue Mountain State. And so, bet. All right, next up, Arizona State Sun Devils versus Iowa State Cyclones. Zoe, who you got in this one?
I got Oh man, I'm going with the home team.
Let's see. Gold says that's better for him. Yeah, absolutely. It is better for him because, quite frankly, that's a place where a guy like James Franklin, because being at Penn State, there was a lot of pressure, and he did put together some good seasons. You do that at Virginia Tech every once in a while, they'll love you. You can stay there for about 30 years and be the head coach there, in all honesty. So that's probably a better situation for him, and the reality of it. There's no way that he needed to go to like a major program with all that pressure. Well, who'd you pick in this one, Zoe?
The home team.
You said Arizona State?
No, Iowa State.
Okay, bet. Yeah, JB is going to. I'm gonna take Arizona State in this one. I'm gonna take Arizona State in this one. The Cyclones, they're up, they're down. You never know which one you're gonna get from them. But Arizona State was a team that many people coming into the season believed that because of their quarterback that they would possibly make it to the college football playoffs again. May not be the case with 3 losses already, but they can beat a team like Iowa State, I feel like. Steve Blackman says that Kirk Cousins will be the quarterback for the Vikings next year. Zoe
Fuck
will be
no.
throwing tables if that were to be the case.
Fuck no.
It was awful, man. I ain't gonna lie. Kirk Cousins was awful against that Dolphins team, man. Like the
Hell
whole
yeah.
Falcons let me down because I started their defense in fantasy football. They gave me negative points, man. Like it was bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, dang, I should have just kept the defense that I already had rostered, man. It was embarrassing.
Man, this might be this next year might be they last go around.
Man, he just collecting a check at this point, man. That was terrible. Let's see. Black man says toss up. He'll take Arizona State. Gold says these coaches get banked. Yeah, after they get fired, it's crazy. It's almost like if I was a coach, I would want to, do great the first year or two. Then they give me a large 10-year contract. After that, be mediocre, make them fire me, pay out my contract, and then I can go elsewhere and just make another bag. That's living life. You get
Yeah.
rewarded for being bad.
No, Black Medicine Kirk was bad. That offense ain't do shit.
Let's see. Texas Tech versus Kansas State. I'll go first with this one here. I'm gonna take Texas Tech. I believe in Texas Tech's defense. Kansas State, they really are a wild card in my mind. What do you say, Zoe?
I got the away team. I'm going with the people.
Samuel, what's good? What's good?
Samuel,
So
what's the
better late than
deal?
never. Let's see. Black says the bigger blame is on the coaching, not Kirk.
Shit, Kirk was fucking ass in that
You
game.
know what? I didn't hear too much from John Robinson, so I have no idea what happened. Did the score just get that bad that quickly? Because
They
I
ain't even
feel like
run the
every time
ball.
I look, it was Tyler Algier. That was it.
Bajan
That was
Robinson had like 25 yards, some shit.
mm. But yet I bet your fantasy team still won, didn't you?
Hell no, I got whooped.
Oh, really? I'm so bad with my misery. I ain't even look at nobody else stuff. I was like, man,
You
my
you
team going
lost?
through it. I did. Undefeated no more in that league. I lost the old man's team.
Yeah, oh man, beat me too.
It hurt my soul to do it because we barely put together 100 points. I was just in
Man,
shock.
I don't know what's going on with that receiver at San Francisco, dog. Ricky Pierce, man.
Stay hurt, man. Just
Yeah,
collect.
he do.
See, Black Mason says justice for Samuel. RC, what's good?
RC.
What's good? All right, let's see. Ooh, Virginia versus Cal. Now, Cal at home is a little interesting there, but not interesting enough for me to go against Virginia. So I'm going to take Virginia with this one. Who you got, Zoe?
I got the away team too.
Bet. Let's see. How are we doing? Let's see. Black Mason says Tech, but Kansas State beat the brakes off the Jayhawks last week. What's the Jayhawks' current record right now? Samuel says I pick NCAA team, college team, away and home. So you're taking both the away and home team, Samuel. Way to play it safe. Speaking of Tech, Georgia Tech at North Carolina State. Now, Zoe, I'm gonna let you go first with this one.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Looking at the Wolf pack, I think after the game, Georgia Tech gonna be smoking on the pack. I got Georgia Tech.
I'm gonna say this. I like what I'm seeing from Georgia Tech, but the real test for them is when they face Georgia for their rivalry game. I got to see how they do in this one. Last year during that game, it went to overtime, and I was so mad with Georgia Tech for losing that game. We'll see how things go this time. But again, right now, North Carolina State, they got this one. Georgia Tech got this one. I don't want nothing to do with any team. The state of Carolina right now. All right, let's see where we are. You said by John fumbled that one,
Yeah,
Black
man.
Medicine. Fumbled the ball. Let's see, Samuel says 7 days left until his birthday. He's hitting the big old 2-7. Like man says Virginia, but you smell an upset coming. All right, now this one right here is the game that JB's going to be live streaming, Oklahoma versus Tennessee. Now, Zoe, I'm going to let you pick first with this one here, Oklahoma versus Tennessee. And they're fighting for their college football playoff hopes at this point. Loser probably will be out, I assume.
I like Tennessee, but 78% of the people going with Tennessee on this game, I'm going the opposite way. I'm going with Oklahoma.
Like it. I like it. I'm gonna rock with Tennessee for this one. Tennessee at home, they're 6-2 on the year. They could have been 7-1 if not for that missed field goal against Georgia earlier in the year. Right now, Oklahoma, they let me down big time last week. I think it's going to be a close one in all honesty. With Tennessee being at home, I feel like it's going to make the difference in them winning this one, but it will be a close, hard fought game. But I got Tennessee. Matter of fact, I think Oklahoma does better in the first half, but the second half, Tennessee will win the second half and win the game. All right. USC versus Nebraska. Ooh, I'm gonna go first with this one. Let's see. Black Medicine says Tech. Going with them yellow jackets. Big sauce up.
What's the
Still take the
deal?
home team. Or what's good, SM? What's good? I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to. Can I get myself to say it though? I slick want to take Nebraska at home here for the upset. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna
That's
do it.
what I'm
So
talking
I'm
about.
gonna take Nebraska here. I had to think about that one long and hard there, Zoe. At home, Nebraska has been a good story this year. They really have been. I can see USC winning, but I'm gonna take Nebraska at home. Who you got, Zoe?
I'm going with USC, man. I can't pick on Nebraska.
Let me say he's picked Tennessee. Okay. It says Oklahoma over Tennessee. Black Medicine's taking Nebraska. SM says USC. All right, so
Yeah.
who wins this matchup here? Cincinnati versus Utah. So I'm gonna let you pick first with this one.
I already know too much about Utah for real, but I think they ranked 24. They at the crib. Cincinnati ranked 17, but they on the road. I'm going with the people on this one.
For me, it comes down to my faith in Utah's defense versus Cincinnati's offense, and I believe the Utah's defense a little bit better than Cincinnati's offense. That's the key
Yep.
matchup for this one. I'm gonna take Utah at home to win this one. Let's see. Some says Utah. No, like what's good? He says, "Yo, what's good?" How many points will be scored in the Utah versus Cincinnati matchup? How many points you got, though?
I picked 37.
You got 27,
No, 37.
27.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with just doing a little math here. I'm gonna go with 36. I'm gonna go with 30. So nobody says the Utah defense is ass. Let's see. Jamie says he's gonna pick the away team. Okay, bet. So now we've covered that. Time to look at the top 25 poll. Let me switch it over here. All right. Can you guys see the top 25 college football rankings, at least the first 7 teams?
Okay, bet. No, I'm gonna put something together for us tomorrow.
Yep, that's right.
I'm gonna text your phone after the live stream. I'm gonna text you. See what time you want to do tomorrow. I've been sick the past couple of days though, dog. That's why I ain't been on the internet.
How many days have you been sick? I know you mentioned it earlier.
Uh, I want to say probably Sunday night and Monday. It probably started Monday for real. Cause my daughter was sick over the weekend, and she all up under me and shit got me sick the next day. What time you get off bowling tomorrow? Damn, he said I bowl tomorrow. We're gonna put something together. Or we could do something for Friday too, though. Yeah, we could do Friday for sure. We gotta get that live in. Or Saturday night.
The top 25. Now, at the top, things look pretty similar. There really was no real movement in like the top 6 spots. Everybody basically stayed where they were. You have Ohio State at the top, Indiana. Very impressive this year. Just how good is Indiana in your opinion, Zoe?
Indiana. I know what Craig. I watched Indiana play for the first time the past weekend. And they looked pretty all right. I ain't gonna lie. I think it was last weekend I watched them play. They looked okay when I see them.
What'd you think about their quarterback Mendoza?
I don't know about number one, but he looked all right though. Like I could see if he goes to the right situation, he probably won't be a day one starter, but he might start during his rookie year. I don't know. He looked all right though. He looked all right. He was
I
moving
think
good on the ball, good.
based upon how the season's going so far, he may have the unfortunate luck of being drafted by a team like the Jets. If he ends up going to the Jets there, I don't think it works out for him at the next level, not to the degree that they're hoping for. So he's got to be careful about where he ends up at, I feel like.
Yeah. Shit. JJ better perform his ass might be in Minnesota.
Right?
Shit. While you bullshit.
Now, would they really do that to your boy JJ? Now, like how bad would he have to play for it to reach that point?
But for me personally, going to your second year, and if you look like anything you did between week 1 and week 2, between now and week 18, I'm having a strong conversation is we need to draft another quarterback and have a quarterback battle. Then the loser it probably get traded or keep him on the sideline or whatever the case might be. Cause you guys see progression though. Like in year 2, he shouldn't be looking like this.
Minneapolis did was the perfect example. What do you do when you have doubts about your first, the quarterback you drafted in the first round? There's like, you know what? There's another guy out there hungry. We don't know what he looks like with talent around him because we've never seen him with talent around him to that degree. And Daniel Jones, they picked him up and it was a perfect fit for what they need for this season.
No,
And
no,
so
but shit. If he played the rest of the season and he already played 2 games this year, that's a lot of shit. That's a lot of film though to look at. But I said he got to get better though. What if he don't get better? Like what do y'all do? What if he don't get better?
move on. That's just how the league is.
Like what the fuck? If he don't, I say if he don't get better.
If you don't get better, you got to move on. That's the way that the NFL is now. Like you really just have maybe 2 years before they're like, all right, we got to go.
Yeah, for sure. JJ McCarthy and Minnesota Vikings, SL. But hey, man, I can't wait for the game Sunday, man. I think, but only thing I want to do though, man, is to silent all the fucking doubters. Like, if he go out there and beat the Detroit Lions, do you know Monday morning people's gonna be going crazy?
But yeah,
Like,
see,
just
that was
go
the
out there, bro. Play
problem.
football, man. Like, leave fucking play football. Slang that rock all over the field.
I mean, because nobody's gonna cut him slack. Because you look at the weapons that he got around him. Like that's just too much weapons to be out there. It'd be different if he was on a team that had absolutely nothing to work with and performing like that. That's one thing. But you got the best weapons, basically, you could say in the league, and you still struggling. That's when it's a problem because they don't get no better than that.
Hell no. Like in New England, this dog first year, right? Y'all head coach, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
Mike
okay.
Vrabel.
Yeah, okay. How do you feel when people say, how do you feel though? You know you're a Patriots fan, you a May fan. How do you feel people talking about he should win NFL MVP and he was the best quarterback in the NFL draft that year? Like, how do you feel when people say that though? Honestly though.
In all honesty, when I hear that, it's like, how can I put it? It's like hearing a complete stranger, like they try, it's like almost listening to them try to flirt with you and you have no interest in that, because for me, I'm just trying to make it game by game. We have to focus game by game. We are too young of a team to where, we don't have a superstar wide receiver that can take over a game if we need to. There's no Jamar Chase on our roster. Our tight end is average at best. Our running backs tend to fumble the ball more than they score touchdowns from time to time. Our offensive line is a makeshift of guys that I don't even know their names at this point. So we're just taking it one game at a time. Our schedule's been easy. That's what we've had in our benefit. It's not like we're out here beating, like the Broncos on the road. We're not beating the Chiefs or teams like that. We're beating teams we're supposed to win. And we're growing. We're still growing. We don't need those expectations of, oh, Drake May MVP. How about we just, go for most improved? Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to put too much pressure on Drake May right now to live up to those lofty expectations of, oh, he's the second coming of Tom Brady. No, he's just out there dunking it one game at a time. There's some against Buffalo. I don't think he had a passing touchdown against Buffalo, but that's okay. He didn't turn the ball over and he helped us win the game. And that's what you need from your quarterback. Just do enough when he's young to win the game. Later on, he will develop. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. When I just be hearing people saying that shit, I like, here
I
we go
said
with
it too.
this. Like, come on, man.
But hey, speaking of how do we feel about teams like Alabama, 7-1? They're back at number 4 here. You've got obviously Texas A&M. They're 8-0. Just how good is Texas A&M? Are they the best team in the SEC right now, Zoe? Do you feel that they're the best? And anybody else in the chat, do y'all feel A&M the best team in the SEC?
I really had to go through their schedule and see who all they play in the SEC so far. So
Mhm.
I could say that by looking at the 8-0 record though, but like I don't know who they played compared to Alabama and Georgia though. I know they ain't played neither one of them yet.
Matter of fact, let me look and see who A&M has played this year. So give me 1 second here.
Road ties they been right since Michigan beat them.
Zoe said that was personal.
Yeah, road ties.
All
Hell
right.
no, they
So
might be.
far, looking at their schedule, they have beaten. I mean, Mississippi State record this year, because I feel like they've started off pretty good. But they beat Mississippi State 31-9. They beat Florida 34-17. Now they had a close game against Auburn, 16-10, and they were at home for that one. They did beat Notre Dame on the road. That one right now seems to be their biggest win
No,
on the
I would
road at Notre Dame, 41-40. So it's a high
nah.
scoring matchup.
I won't give them the best in SEC yet. They ain't playing nobody for real. That's just me though.
Then they got Mizzou coming up when they come back because they're off this week. So then they got Mizzou, South Carolina, Stanford. What's Stanford doing on the schedule? And then Texas. So they should roll the rest of the way. They really
Yeah.
should, based upon this schedule. As I said, JB, the Vikings tried to trade up for May, and so I'm glad it didn't work. I'm glad it didn't work. I mean, but in all honesty, I've been impressed with just his ability to process. And I know Josh McDaniels is very happy about that because he's processing information. That's something that is very underrated for a quarterback. Like sometimes if your quarterback can't process it, you can't open up that playbook. You got to dumb it down so he can understand it. But Drake May is taking information, processing and understanding what Josh McDaniels wants him to see out there on the field. And his deep ball is getting better. I've seen it from week 1 to now. His deep ball is improving. I'm like,
So
dang, he might can hit me on a deep ball.
JB. So by y'all really not having no true wide receiver over there, right? So do you feel like y'all should trade for that receiver? What's his name? Brian Robinson Jr. I think he in Jacksonville, I believe.
And Thomas Jr., I would love if that happened. I would love if that happened. 'Cause if you've noticed, the Patriots made 2 trades, was it yesterday or the day before? Made 2 trades basically to just clear up salary cap, and the fan
Yeah,
base all had the same reaction. Why are we clearing up so much space
y'all
when
got
we're
space.
not planning on when we're not gonna spend the money? We're not gonna spend the money. The money just sitting there. We already got the most amount of money. So why are we
Yeah,
clearing up
yeah.
more space and we're not ready to spend the
I
money?
seen that shit. To pay. I really ain't get that. I'm like,
Yeah,
they not
so
even paying nobody.
I mean, I get Kyle Duggar because Bill Belichick was giving out contracts left and right to his guys, his yes guys. That was basically it. And all them guys are getting shipped. Now, Keon White, I was a little sad about that. I liked him coming out of Georgia Tech, but I get it. But we just gave him away for nothing. It wasn't a money thing. But Kyle Duggar, yeah, bad contract, got rid of that. But it don't mean nothing if you don't sign nobody. We just got the money sitting there. So
So do you feel like your ownership is going to do right by Drake May, like place weapons around him?
I do. I do. I feel like they will do right by him because he is able to right now take these pieces that he has and do better. So that's going to attract guys. Before, nobody wanted to come there, no matter how much money we offered, because they didn't know we didn't have a quarterback, we didn't have a coach, we didn't have a culture. But now we have that stuff in place. So a guy like AJ Brown would love to come in and break the bank in the process, because we can pay whoever if they can really
Yeah,
come in and fit.
yeah.
So Hassan says, you wonder if the Vikings regret not re-signing Darnold. Now, Zoe, I know you've probably been asked this 1,000 times there, but I got to ask you again. At this point, from what you see right now, do you feel a little regret letting Sam Darnold walk away?
I would say this, and I stand on this, and I always believe in this. I always say, before you let something go, know what you had and replace. If you feel like JJ McCarthy was a guy and ready to roll, you let Sam and the other quarterbacks go. But for what I've seen lately, he don't like he ready. So I don't know what they doing. Hold on, JB. Hold on one second.
What's good? Says Roll Tide. What's good with you? Lank bet. No, says hell no. A&M is gonna do what they do every year. All right, so no faith there in A&M. SM says Alabama quarterback getting draft hype. And so, hey, my man's been protecting the football for the most part. I have noticed that. It's like ever since that wake up call there against Florida State, I mean, impressive how he protects the rock. And that's what you like in a quarterback, someone that's going to protect the rock, do what needs to be done to get those wins. And they've elevated all the way to number 4 despite that loss early on. And that's why sometimes it's beneficial to lose. If you're going to lose very early in the season so you can recover from that the way that Bama has, as opposed to losing later in the season. The Mississippi State is better. Everybody else in their schedule was right, Zoe. All
Huh?
right, so Zoe, looking at the top 25 here, well, top 11 we should be able to see right now. So top 11 here. Who stands out here on this list that you're like, you know what? The rest of the way, I really like what they've got coming. Like maybe they're just now hitting their stride to their peak, or just who stands out to you on this list, and for whatever reason you have.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm impressed with Indiana for real. And I would say, who like really, I'm really surprised by Indiana though. How they 8-0 and the way they've been looking though.
Let me ask you this: if Indiana was playing in the, let's see, because Indiana's biggest win is what, Oregon on their schedule so far. It Yeah, because yeah, it's got to be Oregon. And Oregon's biggest win was against Penn State, right? Which now we know Penn
Right.
State is very fraudulent and stuff. So, do you think if Indiana was in the SEC, that Indiana would still be in the top 10 right now?
Man, it's hard to really. I don't like. It's hard for me to say that because if they was in the SEC, they'd be playing different type of ball and be having different type of players. So I don't. It's really hard for me to say that. But do I think right now they could beat like a Alabama? They might. They might. I don't know. They might can get an Alabama. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like that quarterback. He can run and he can throw the ball on the move. I like their defense. It would be a good game. I tell you that. Alabama for you. Alabama not the best team. How? Y'all just
It
be
says Max
say be hype
Olson
on
from
Alabama
Cleveland.
name.
I like what Ty Simpson's doing. I like his leadership from the position. I do like that. I feel like that was something that when Nick Saban left, they lacked someone that had that held that people accountable to that level. And I feel like he's kind of sort of restoring as much as you can from the quarterback position, you know. He's kind of restoring that. But let's see. How do you feel about Georgia Tech? And how do you people in the chat feel about Georgia Tech? We see them at number 8 and also Vanderbilt also. We see them at number 9, but does anybody here think that Georgia Tech or Vanderbilt could be in play for a, let's say, college football top 4 finish? Top 4 finish. Does anybody believe
Top
that's
four?
possible for either one of these teams? Top 4.
No, I don't see no top four. I ain't gonna lie.
That's the best
I
wide
don't see,
receiver room in the country. I like that.
I don't see top four.
Getting traded away. That's crazy. What are the Jaguars doing? Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Like, why would the Jaguars make that trade to begin with? Because he's
Cause
all
they
they really got.
cause
He's all
they
they
say he
got.
drop a lot of passes.
If somebody throws you 12 passes a game, you're gonna drop probably about 3 or 4. You know, I mean, for every drop he gets you a touchdown. You've got nobody else. I mean, Travis Hunter, they can't decide how to use the kid. He got his first touchdown. That's great, but I need to see a lot more. You know, so
I
you
don't get it.
trade him, you just I don't
I
get
don't
it.
get that neither.
They're having a decent season. I don't get why you even entertain the thought. 'Cause even Cleveland, they got nothing going right. They're like, we are not trading Miles Garrett. Now, not to say they're on the same level, but you get what I'm saying. Still don't get what they moved
Yeah, I don't
number
really get that neither.
sell ticket. That's why. That's the biggest name they had. They could sell tickets on. That's the only reason they made that trade right there. Because they sure don't have a place for him to use
Yeah, you're right about that.
EC has 5 teams in the top 10. And so that's exactly why I mentioned them because, yeah, they've got a lot of teams up there, a lot of teams up there, and they each got their own case.
I just don't I don't know, man. Like I'm really not too I don't know. I'm not really hype on Alabama like that. I think Alabama will lose to me. I think they lose to Ole Miss.
Mhm.
And I don't think they could beat Ohio State. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't trust that quarterback at Alabama, and I think that defense is gonna give them trouble. Like I don't think Alabama that damn good.
Now, I think that Alabama, as of right now, how they've been playing, that they are a top 5 team. They've certainly improved. You know, if you looked at them week 1, I'd have told you heck no, but they've improved gradually, and I see the improvement there. And so you compare them to a team like, let's see, if you're comparing them to, I mean, I feel like Ole Miss. Ole Miss always struggles with the same thing, trying to beat teams like Georgia, trying to beat teams like Alabama. That's their Achilles heel. That's why Ole Miss cannot be in a top 5 because they cannot elevate beyond those two teams. They don't have that capability to do it. That's exactly why Lane Kiffin's going to leave after this year and take the bag and probably go to Florida. That's probably where he's going to run to. Take that bag. I would do it too. I can't blame him. But he realizes this is about as high as he probably can go with Ole Miss. They will not be a top 4 finishing team. They just can't do it. No matter how well they recruit, how many points they put up, they just are not built to compete with those two teams when it matters the most. But
Right.
Bama, they've got their quarterback. You know they stacked. So you know they stacked.
Yeah.
So let's see. RC says, JB, y'all balling out. I ain't gonna lie to you. Appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, whole lot up there. But how are we feeling about Miami now? Because I remember the last time we was up here, I think it was right before they lost and stuff like that. We were saying that Miami should possibly be number 1. Some people were saying, but how are we feeling about the Hurricanes? Was it just a bad loss,
Who they
or is
lose
this the
to?
same Hurricanes? They lost to the Louisville Cardinals, and so
What the fuck
that was
they
like
rank
2 weeks
at?
ago, 2 games ago. So Carson Beck turned the ball over like 4 times. If your quarterback's turn the ball over that many times, you will lose. But they still have a chance to win despite all those turnovers. They've got the talent now. Cause that boy they got at wide receiver, hey, I feel like I'm watching a young Tyreek every time I watch him play.
Are you talking
But
about
outside of that,
freshman?
and so, mm-hmm.
I mean, you know he's supposed to be in high school right now.
Imagine a high school kid trying to guard him, man. I'll tell the coach, sub me out, man. Sub me
Man,
out.
listen.
So did JB tell us, are the Vikings done in the playoff race, or they got a little time to make it right? This has to be the moment where it all comes together. Because you think about the Viking season so far, what has it been? Like there was offensive line injuries. I don't know how you guys are doing in terms of like if anybody's coming back, but you had to deal with the Jordan Addison suspension at first. So therefore, got to build the chemistry between him and JJ McCarthy. McCarthy gets hurt. Carson Wentz, he plays through an injury and stuff like that. Just because he's like, hey, if I don't play now, I may not get another chance. So he's like, even if I'm not 100%, I'll play at 50%. And then he started to look terrible out there due to that injury. So now he's done. And now JJ has to come back. This has to be the moment where he stepped in like Superman. Not, I should say like Superman, but comes in and just right the ship. You know, keep them in a close game against the Lions. Just don't turn it over, and then allow your key players around you to make the plays to win the game. If they walk out with a 19-16 victory, he's done his job. 22-19, he's done his job. He don't have to go out there and score 30. Just do enough to win, and then you go to the next week. Right now, they're still there because they have a lot of division games to play, but this is it. If they go out there and get mollywhooped by the Lions, that they're gonna lose some people for real, man. Like this is the game here. This is the game, do or die right here.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, man. This right here is all or nothing. Like it's all or nothing this upcoming Sunday, man.
Mhm. Jones back now, and Jordan Mason's got to figure this out. Like, who does he want to be? It's time. Let's see. He said, speaking of the playoffs, can the Ravens get back into this thing at 2-5? When is Lamar coming back? So I'm gonna let you take this one first.
Yeah, the Ravens 2-5. They next five opponents all got losing record. That what 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7-5 right there. Pittsburgh gonna lose a few more games, and we already know about the Bengals. Hopefully, I ain't gonna lie, they would be crazy, but the Ravens can make the playoffs. I think Lamar coming back either this week or next week. But I hope he stay out for another week when he play my Vikings. I hope he don't play. But I can see the Ravens making the playoff though, and probably making some noise because their defense is playing better too though.
Can they make the playoffs? Yes. Will they make the playoffs? I'm gonna say no. There comes a point. I mean, you're already 2-5 in this thing. 2-5. You have no room for error in the AFC. It's super tough right now in the AFC. Extremely tough right now. And so, even before he got hurt, there was just something off. Like when they let the Buffalo Bills come back on them, Buffalo, a team that we've seen get exposed by weaker teams and stuff like that, or teams we just didn't expect to beat them, but yet the Ravens just they didn't have it then, they didn't have it lately. And so Lamar coming back will help, but I just don't see them running the ship the rest of the way. I don't see them pulling off like 7 wins in a row. I don't see that. They might go like 4 wins during that time, four, maybe five. And so if they lose 7 games, is that enough this year in the AFC, 7, 8 games for them to still make it? They might end up being just short. This might be what last year's Cincinnati Bengals were up until the very end, where all of a sudden it gets exciting. We're like, oh my gosh, if they get into the playoffs, they're going to do something, but they don't get in there. That's what the Ravens are probably going to replicate this year. The only people that will be happy about this will be the people that have Lamar Jackson in fantasy football because he's going to have to go out there and ball out basically every game to keep them in this. Every game. Let's see. Nug says, does Navy make the playoff? And so right now, off the top of my head, I would have to say no, but that's an interesting thought. I got to see how they finish up the rest of their schedule to see how I feel about that. But right now, I'm gonna say no. Well, doesn't beat me to it. He said nope. All right. So Zoe, looking at the rest of the top 25 up until about 22, do you see any dark horses here that you like as potential, or how many do you see as potential playoff candidates in this group of teams here? Like a team like
Uh,
Louisville that literally, the team I told you about that beat Miami, they've only got one loss so far. They're ranked number 16.
see, it's
That's interesting.
it really hard for me to say because I don't know their schedule though. But off rip, I could say a playoff team. I would say Michigan and probably Texas or Oklahoma.
But you still believe that Texas with Arch Manning might end up getting there in the SEC. They're gonna have to beat somebody big in the SEC to get there.
Like but who the fuck do they play though?
Let me take a look and see. Um, switch over to. All right, so they got Vanderbilt
Ooh,
coming up. That's
they
their
got
next game.
Georgia.
Then at Georgia, and then at the end of the season, they got Texas A&M coming up.
We gonna see what they made of.
And the Razorbacks have not been pushovers this year. I've seen them fight in a couple games. So you're right. We're gonna see what they
We gonna
what
see what
they
they
got.
made of.
We're gonna see because I see that they barely beat Kentucky this year, 16-13. So they had a nice win against Sam Houston, for whatever that's worth. They lost to Florida. They beat San Jose State though. They beat UTEP. I'm looking at their
So
wins. Their
hey,
biggest win may have been against Mississippi State, in which they had to come back again. I'm not liking their odds at all. At all.
so hold on, JB, 1 second. My bad, bro, for switching the topic though. But I see Nuz said Pittsburgh win that division. And I think you said Pittsburgh too, if I ain't mistaken, right? But but look though, Pittsburgh got Indy coming up. Then they at the Chargers, got the Bengals. Then they at the Bears, got Buffalo, at the Ravens, playing Miami, at the Lions, at the Browns. Then they close the season with the Ravens.
Gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Not
I
saying
don't
it's gonna
trust
be a
that. I don't
cakewalk.
trust that defense.
I can't trust the Ravens right now. I just can't because even before Lamar got hurt, it wasn't looking too good. Now Lamar coming back will help. It's gonna be a close race. It may come down to that final game against the Ravens there. It might. But
I just
I'm Tom Coughlin. I'm not Tom Coughlin. I'm tripping here. But the Steelers coach, can't think of his name. Mike Tomlin. Yeah, I'm tripping. Mike Tomlin will. I think he'll do just enough to get them to win a division. Just enough.
oh man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. After seeing what Jordan Love bum ass did, they said he completed 20 passes in a row. Man, that's crazy. I think the Ravens win enough. I think the Ravens win double digit games this year.
They will. As long as they go out there and they get on a streak, that's what it's going to take. That is exactly what it's going to take. Let's see. All right. How did you feel about Texas Tech and also Notre Dame? Does Notre Dame find a path to get in there to the college football playoffs
I think gonna
again?
be I think gonna be too many people that gonna be ranked over them to get in the playoffs for real because they don't really play nobody.
Okay. Well, there's one thing I've learned about the committee. For Notre Dame, they will find a way if Notre Dame gives them an opportunity there. Notre Dame, I think they still have who's left on their schedule? Let me look and see real quick. Who is coming up on their schedule? All right, they got Boston College. They got Navy, so they're going to be the reason why Navy does not get in. They go down to Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford. So all winnable games. So they very well could finish with 2 losses. So they can find a way with 2 losses to get in there. Considering one of their losses was to Texas A&M and it was by 1 point. The other loss was by 3 points to the Miami Hurricanes. Both of those teams ranked. So definitely could see a path for Notre Dame to get in there.
So
The rest of their schedule.
what if what if the rest of the season they only lose 2 games, but you have a team like Texas or let's say Tennessee and Texas, they probably lose 1 more game, and Michigan lose 1 more game, or Michigan win out and finish with 2 games. You think they should be in there over a Tennessee or a Texas team or a Michigan team? If
Over
every,
Texas, yes,
huh?
because I would say for Texas, I looked at that schedule. I don't see any impressive wins. But again, if you're saying Texas is going to win out, then that's an entirely different conversation. Texas definitely has the path because they have the teams on their schedule. Like you mentioned, at Georgia, and they've got 3 teams that are ranked on their schedule, and they're not just bottom tier ranked. These are some good ranked teams coming up. So if they can run the tide the rest of the way, then yeah, they get in. But if they lose those games, like let's say
Will they lose
they
one?
lose one more of those games there. If they lose one more of those games there, and I'm comparing their resume
To
with
Notre
Notre Dame
Dame.
resume, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be real close. Then we got a real conversation there because I got a case for both teams there. But honestly, I probably would have to nod Texas in that scenario because then it comes down to you're in a conference there. If it's one more, like you mentioned, just one loss, considering Texas' schedule the rest of the way, that means that Arch would have had to turn it up, and they're in a conference. So then at that point, it's like, all right, Notre Dame, not this time.
Yeah. So
So
it depends. Like I don't like Notre Dame for me, man. Like the playoffs, you got to play better opponents than the opponents they playing, man. Because this messing the whole seeding up. I think your mic went out.
it went out. What about now?
Oh yeah, I hear you now.
Let's see. What about USC? If USC runs the table the rest of the way, them and Utah, do you like their odds of making the college football playoffs?
Uh, I like USC chance more than Utah, but I don't like shit. I don't know who USC even played the way out. Do they play y'all?
Let me look. I don't think that we play USC, but I think I would have remembered if we played. No, we don't play USC. The rest of the way, they have Nebraska at Nebraska. Then they've
Mhm.
got Northwestern at home. They've got Iowa at home. And then they go down to Oregon. Now that's the key matchup there.
Yeah,
You want that
yeah,
spot, you got to win out and take it from Oregon probably.
yeah. Who at home? Oregon or USC?
Then they finish with UCLA. So, but Oregon's the big one left in their schedule. Now you combine that with a win at Nebraska, now we're talking for USC.
Right.
Rico Scott. Nug says, I think Kiffin stays. He's royalty there. Doesn't have to win a natty to get a statue there. I mean, Lane Kiffin reminds me of myself in the workforce. You know, my man's always looking for a better offer. It doesn't matter how big a bag he signed. If there's a bigger opportunity, he wants to be in the state of Florida. You know, that's why he went to Florida Atlantic that time. He really wants to be in the state of Florida. He really admires the program at the University of Florida as well. And I could see Lane Kiffin, the fact that he had to address his team because it was obviously that deep. So that tells me he's just, saying what he has to say now to keep them focused. But I think at the end of the season, I think he will leave and take that bag. I think he does. Says Minnesota is sweeping the North.
That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about, Delta. That's my
Over too many teams above 500. So JB says they're not kittens no more. All right, Nug says Pittsburgh wins the division. All right, meanwhile, let's go ahead and switch over to our NFL pick.
Let's do it. The big boys.
I felt like we talked a lot about the NFL during the college picks there.
Yeah, that was
All right,
crazy.
let's see. Uh, so here's how everybody's looking so
Damn.
far. It's like I always got to check and see if old man is caught up to me or not every time I'm looking at these picks, though. But this is where we stand. So we're going to go ahead and see how you did this week.
I been getting fucked up on them Thursday night gang fast.
You went 8-5 this week. You took Minnesota against the Chargers there. Did not expect that outcome there, 37-10.
Boy.
Those you and 96% of the population made that mistake there with the Atlanta Falcons, man. That was tough. Nug says if Navy wins out there in, but they do play Notre Dame, so I think that'll stop them. Let's see. You took Buffalo over Carolina. All right, took the Ravens there over the Bears. Okay. Man, I had made sure that I reminded myself when I saw Lamar wasn't playing to move my pick from the Ravens to the Bears. So that ended up costing me. All right, you took the 49ers, took the Eagles, took the Bengals, Patriots there, Tampa Bay. The game Spencer Rattler got benched, and now Tyler Shaw will be the quarterback the rest of the way. Broncos, Indianapolis. Man, the things are just so sad down there in Tennessee. It really is.
Who
I
they
don't
had?
understand Tyler Lockett asking to be released from the Titans just to go play with the Raiders, man. That was like,
That was
why?
dumb. Unless you got family there though, and you in Las Vegas though, so
You want to connect with Geno Smith and
I
with
don't
Pete
know.
Carroll
I
again.
ain't get that one though. He should have went. Like to me, he should have went to New England for real.
He should have went to Pittsburgh. They're looking for receivers. He should have went somewhere like there.
Yeah, I ain't get that one.
Pittsburgh and to the Packers. Jordan Love put together quite the performance in that one. Then the Chiefs, they beat what's left of the Commanders. Commanders kept playing around early on, man. Like they had opportunities to score. They just kept playing around. Marcus Mariota just, man, he just puts on a circus show every time he goes out there. And I mean that in the worst way possible.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Let's see, he projected 47 points, but it was 35 points scored. All right. Let's see how old man did. So he went 9-4. He took the Chargers. He took the Falcons. Buffalo. I miss the days where old man would never choose Buffalo just because he hates
Yeah,
Buffalo.
he coming. He picked the Bears.
Bear, 49ers, the Eagles, Bengals, Patriots, Buccaneers, Denver, Indianapolis, Green Bay, the Chiefs. And he projected 45 points. So you took what, 47?
Yeah. Who you think Tennessee new coach gonna be, dude? Where do they get him from?
Oh man. Where does Tennessee get the coach from? That is the $1,000,000 question.
You know who I
Honestly,
can
right
see?
now, who?
The OC from the Commanders.
Offense coordinator from the Commanders. I feel like they need someone who can't be a first-time coach. Can't be a first-time coach. You need someone that's going to establish a culture right now. Because Tennessee, from an effort perspective, there's a lot of things they got to change right now. They gave my man Cam Ward absolutely nothing to work with this year. Absolutely nothing. So it's just been a miss. The only thing I'll say is positive is that I keep seeing Cam Ward get up. You know, every time he gets knocked down, he gets up. He keeps the same demeanor, and he's not getting rattled by how much he's getting sacked. Where some quarterbacks will start just, going crazy, scrambling. He's still trying to execute the plays, even though there's nothing there. But my goodness, there's nothing there. If I was Calvin Ridley's agent, I'm like, hey, get my man out of here. Get my man out of here. Y'all released the wrong receiver.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if an under 500 team wins that division. Possible. All right, let's see how I did.
Everybody had a winning record this week, I see.
So this past week, I went 9-4. I took the Chargers, took the Falcons, the Bills, took Chicago, took the 49ers. So we all messed up on the 49ers there.
That was
Took
crazy.
the Eagles, took the Bengals, took the Patriots, Buccaneers, Broncos, Indianapolis, Packers, Chiefs, and I projected 47 points. So I think we were basically in the same range when it came to how many points we thought was going to be scored.
That because the Commander kept on going for it without kicking field goals and shit.
Yeah, their offense shut down in the second half completely. Like they were making mistakes in the first half. The second half was abysmal. Text plus to win a natty. It won't hit, but hey, it would look good if it did hit now, taking Texas Tech to win it all. It would. So yes, even over his Wolverine. All right, so let's get our picks going for this week.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I gotta do better, man. Ain't know what hurt me about last week though, JB, dude. I'm mad we ain't go live on my own pick'em, bro. I picked the Jets to win, dude. But I ain't pick up on our shit. Cause I thought
Yeah, I
Tyron
that
Taylor.
live.
I thought Taylor was playing in that game for real. That's why I picked the Jets.
Some kind of boost you get once you've been benched and then brought back and stuff like that. The whole Eagle, the fact that he was like getting emotional about it and stuff. So it gave him a little one game spurt there. And plus, Cincinnati defense was trash. We already do that. And then Flacco getting hurt towards the end with his shoulder, that didn't help either. Because I was like, my man went to the locker room. I was like, wait a minute, I got a parlay on this man. I need 50 more passing yards. I was like, get him back out there. They got him back out there, but he did nothing. That injury, it hurt him. But Iowa's quietly 6-2. I don't know how the rest of their schedule looked, but 6-2, they still got a chance. Give an honest look at Navy. They will be ranked soon, and their schedule will get them in. Wasn't they ranked last year, Navy? Like, I think they were undefeated for a long time, if I'm not mistaken, if it was last year, and they just still didn't get in. Let's see. Ravens versus the Dolphins. So I'm gonna go first with this one here. So Baltimore, for all of the reasons that Zoe mentioned, with Lamar coming back, must-win game here for the Ravens. They got reason to believe. The Dolphins know that, hey, they just found the Falcons at the right time. They know that this is a shipwreck. But as for the Ravens, they got reason to believe that Lamar is going to be that hero that they need. Because even a broke-down version and Tyler Hudley was enough for them to get the W against the Bears. So I expect them to get this W against the Dolphins here. And I expect to see Derrick Henry actually go out there and have a big game against these Dolphins. Zoe?
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens too, man. I like what I see out of Baltimore. And I don't like what I see out the Dolphins, man. I know they won last week, but I'm going with the Ravens.
The Bears versus the Bengals. Got in this one, Zoe?
I'm going with the Bengals, man. I'm going with the home team. The Bears is a good team, but the Bears is not good away from the crib, man. I'm going with the Bengals. I think their offense is going to give the Bears defense trouble. I think Caleb Williams is going to have like an interception. I just think the Bengals win this game. The Bears lose another close game.
Okay. Okay. My biggest concern right now is I don't know what's going on injury-wise with Joe Flacco, and that concerns me gravely because I'm over here checking the highlights. Did he practice? Is he gonna practice? Are they thinking he's gonna play? Because I need to know for my fantasy team whether or not to start T. Higgins or not at this point. If Joe Flacco don't play, I certainly don't want these Bengals. But for right now, with it being up in the air, not truly knowing how healthy he is right now, I'm gonna take the Chicago Bears here and getting this chance to win this one because Cincinnati's defense is horrible. I think Swift can go out there, run on this defense. Caleb can do enough.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm gonna choose the Bears.
Oh yeah. Joe Flacco ain't playing in this game.
Oh, he's for sure not.
Yeah, they said the other quarterback here. I forgot about that shit.
Well, even more reason then. Even
No,
more
yeah, I
reason.
ain't going. I ain't going with the Bengals with that. Forgot that quarterback name.
Was it on like It's not Rofer. Is it
Jake
Browning? Is that
Browner.
one?
Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Jake Browning.
No, I can't go with him. Hell, fuck no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I made sure to change my lineup early this morning just in
I
case.
think Joe Flacco doing like an AC joint or some shit.
He's a little old now, so those injuries will linger.
Yeah.
Nug says he's gonna get unlimited money. His daughter and wife, you believe, love Oxford. Okay. She said, Zoe, I think so. Notre Dame, maybe so. We got Mike in the building. What's good? He says JB and Zoe shout out.
What's the
What's
deal?
good? Jamie says you pick up NFL next up NFL bet. All right, Mike says, I wonder how Colts would fare versus the Chiefs or the Eagles. Well, what are your thoughts on that, Zoe? If you had to compare the state of Indianapolis right now, if they face, let's say the Kansas City Chiefs first and then the Eagles, how would they fare?
I think depend on like both. If they play like, I feel like if they could get a home game between one of them teams, I like Indy. Indy played the Rams real good. They lost because my man did that dumbass play before he got in the end zone and I'm costing them the game for real. But Indy got a good run game that travel and a defense that travel. And Dame Jones can run with the football and he can throw the football. I like Indy versus any team in the NFL.
To say Colts versus the Chiefs. We'll actually get to see that matchup. I feel like another 2 weeks from now, the Colts and the Chiefs they will clash. So we will actually get to see how they were fair in that one. I feel like if it's a playoff game and it's in Arrowhead, then I would probably lean towards the Chiefs. But at the same time, I feel like of all the teams in the AFC that's best equipped to face the Kansas City Chiefs, I feel it's Indianapolis. So I feel like if they when they face in a couple of weeks, I think Indianapolis will win that one because they're balanced. They're balanced, and that's very important. That balance there. But if it comes down to the playoff, then it comes down to making adjustments, coaches and stuff. They'll be ramped up for that one. Then it's like, okay, maybe I lean Patrick Mahomes over a Daniel Jones. So for me, it matters when they play. So regular season, Indianapolis. As for the Eagles right now, I would take the Colts over the Eagles. Eagles are still working through some things. They've gotten better, but it's not perfect. No, because Gruden gets hired this offseason. You think so? Who do you think will hire him? Tim says he doesn't think the Colts can beat Kansas City in the playoffs. So a little bit of what I said, regular season, sure. Playoff, different ball game. All right, but Zoe, I know these are your Vikings, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my pick out there first, and then you let me know what you got there. So Detroit at home. Everything's been looking pretty good for Detroit ever since that week one loss. Now that week one loss was so bad. Old man dropped Jared Goff into free agency. Everybody was done saying that the coordinators leaving meant the end of Detroit, but they've clearly shown since then that Detroit is still very much alive in this one. I'm gonna take Detroit, especially at home in this one. And so Zoe, explain to me what to expect, who you got here.
Man, this game, the Detroit Lions been humming right now. But I will say this: the way the NFL been going lately, I can see the Vikings putting the game plan together, and JJ McCarthy look like a real good quarterback against that defense, and people will be off his back for another week. I think the Vikings get this upset this week.
Okay, okay. Okay. Now, be honest now. Is that more so wishful thinking, or do you truly believe the Vikings will win this game?
Hey, look, man, that's the good side. The Vikings could win the game. The bad side is JJ look like he been looking. The defense put our receivers on clamps. We can't run the ball. We can't throw the ball. My defense is going to fold against that run game, and this game might be a blowout. That's what I don't want to see. So, hey, man, I'm just hoping they can upset this team, man.
Say this with the weapons you guys have, especially on the outside, there's always that chance that as long if JJ got hot in the game and y'all really needed it, or at least get the ball in their hands, you guys could definitely stay in it. But it's gonna come down to can that defense make stops when y'all need to make stops and not let the Lions get early momentum because early momentum against this team is a death sentence. You guys have got to keep it to where that momentum, where we see golf feeling uncomfortable. Because even this season, when he looks uncomfortable in the pocket, I'm like, golf, bruh, just chill, just make the throws like you're supposed to make. But once it gets into his head, it's a different story. If you guys can do that, then I give you guys a chance. But can't let them go first and just come out here and then just start running it like crazy. Then it gets ugly.
Yeah.
Let's see, Essence says Lamar playing versus the Dolphins there. And so to my knowledge, he's set to play. Yeah, he's set to play. He's been practicing and everything. He's set to play. This game is interesting. I can see both winning, but you'll go with Baltimore. I will say this, and this is not relevant at all. But fun fact: the year that the Dolphins actually, what was it? I forget the exact year, but it was the year somewhere around 2010, I think, or 2009. The Dolphins only won one game that season, and you know who they beat to prevent themselves from going winless? They beat the Baltimore Ravens that year. Miami somehow, some way musters up their best effort whenever they play the Baltimore Ravens. That's something that I have just noticed. So it can very well be a hard fought game at Miami. They're feeling a lot better. Now, that being said, I'm still going to choose the Ravens and Lamar, but it could be an interesting game. The Bengals over the Carolina Panthers versus the Green Bay Packers. So I'm gonna let you go first with this one.
Man, I gotta go Green Bay at the crib. Carolina Panthers. Man, they just it might be time to blow that shit up again. I could see this game getting out of hand.
Yeah. I'm just hoping because I haven't checked the injury report. I'm just hoping that Bryce Young's going to play in this game. I don't want to see no more Andy Dalton. I've seen enough of Andy Dalton throughout his career. You know, he had a nice career. That's nice. He should be holding a clipboard on the sideline officially as a position coach or something. If he wants to stay on that football field, he should not be in any more football games. No
Yeah.
one should have to watch that bad of a performance. I just every time he gets the ball, I feel like he's just fighting for his life back there, just trying to avoid getting hit here. So it's time to let it go. That being said, got to go with the Packers here in this one. I do feel like Carolina would be better off if they keep feeding Rico Dowdle. Not just saying that he's on my fantasy football team, but he's been a more effective runner this season, and they just need to just keep feeding him as much as possible.
For real.
Chargers at the Titans here. I'm gonna go first with this one. Chargers. Tennessee got problems. They got real problems. Real problems. I'm talking about problems like, like not knowing how you're going to pay your light bill type of problems. They got real problems going on over there. So I don't want nothing with what Tennessee got going on there. Give me the Chargers. What do you say, Zoe?
Yeah, I feel like you. I got the Chargers, man. I ain't no way I could pick Tennessee against the Chargers.
Yeah, no way. No way.
He's up picking the Lions.
Let's see. The Vikings wasn't done the NFL. How y'all feel about Tyler Shaw taking over for the Saints, though, by the way? Jameis got the Lions. Your one says Dalton the same as Wentz. What's good with you? And so, yeah, Dalton, I'm done with Dalton. I'm just done with Dalton. No more. No more.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Mike White get in there again than to see this man come in there. All right, but yeah. Who you got in this one, Zoe? Falcons and Patriots.
I want to go with the Patriots, but I did my homework. I think the Falcons play good every other game for real. But I don't know if Michael Penix playing or not though.
I don't know that either, in
So
all
I'm
honesty.
so for right now I'm going with New England. But if I see Michael Penix playing, I'm gonna go with the Falcons because they play good one game, then look shitty the next game. They play good every other game.
I'm gonna say this: the biggest difference between how the Patriots match up with the Falcons versus how the Buffalo Bills match up with the Falcons is a major difference is the Patriots run stop defense. The run stop defense has been the strength of the New England Patriots. And so stopping a guy like Bijan Robinson, at least containing him, will do a much better effort with that. Buffalo's just been down bad when it comes to stuff like that. So that is why Atlanta was able to expose them. But New England, especially being at home, going to choose the Patriots to win this one. Don't know what
Skull,
to expect of Michael Penix. I assume he's going to play, but I don't know.
Skull Mafia, what's the deal?
What's good? Says Purple Gang. Samuel's got the Patriots. All right. 49ers versus the Giants here. So, Zoe, I'm going to let you go first with this one here. Who you like in this one?
I gotta go with the 49ers at the crib. Like the Giants, I like what they going on with their young quarterback, but I don't trust their defense all like that. And the 49ers lost an ugly game last week. I think they get back to a W over the Giants.
Yeah, I got to say, somehow, some way, the 49ers, they find ways to overcome things. Jawan Jennings, I feel like this is the perfect game for him to actually step it up from what he's been doing so far. But I got the 49ers winning this one. Quite frankly, I felt bad seeing the Giants lose, Scotty with the way that they did, because he was like, how can I? He's like the heartbeat. He was becoming a heartbeat. Like his energy was contagious. When you got a running back that's going to run straight into the guy in front of him with no hesitation. That stuff is contagious. They've got some young pieces. They got some nice pieces, but unfortunately for them, they're young big three. I guess you can call them on offense. Two of them is hurt. No Malik Neighbors. Now Cam's got to. He's hurt too. So I got to go with the 49ers in this one.
Yeah.
But the Giants have a nice outlook for their future. I will say that. See, Eston said that Rattler beat out Shaw. and I don't see him faring much better, especially against a rested Rams team. So, oh, they got the Rams coming up. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. Make him more look like he just winging it, bro. Like he look like he just winging it. What I hate about Kellen Moore the most is that he's stubborn in the sense that he wants to be purely a passing team. That was his problem as an offensive coordinator. Cowboys are like, hey, we need to run the ball a little bit more. He wants to be heavily reliant on a pass team when you've got a quarterback that honestly should not be starting, should not be a starter in this league. And Tyler Shaw, he may have some okay moments, but I feel like you're not going to get much more than what you got out of Spencer Rattler. Maybe he
Yeah,
doesn't fumble the ball every time he gets hit. Maybe that's the difference. But it's looking bad. If it says Dylan, Essen says Patriots over Falcons. Tammy says he picks New England at home. Essen says the Giants are going to upset the 49ers. Bet, bet. Essen says Jackson Dart will be a headache for those 49ers. And Samuel's got the 49ers. All right, now, Zoe. Indianapolis versus Pittsburgh. I'm going to go first with this one here. And I'm going to choose Indianapolis because of the fact that Indianapolis defense, they've got some speed. They'll get after you. Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't like getting hit. He got mad at his own lineman just for tackling him on a celebration. He doesn't want to get hit. And then when they get down to Indianapolis, because Jonathan Taylor goes out there and scores another 3 touchdowns, helps my fantasy football team in the process, but goes out there, scores 3 touchdowns. Daniel Jones goes out there, maybe get a little touchdown too. If they thought Green Bay lit them up, they're about to get lit up again, lit up like a torch here. So Indianapolis, if they really want to, they can drop 40 points on these boys. They can score 40 points, which means a lot of hits for Rodgers. So give me Indianapolis in this one. Who you got, Zoe?
yeah, I got Indy, man. I'm not sold on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. I mean, they defense, their offense is okay, but I like Indy run game, like their defense, their quarterback been balling. I gotta go with the weight team. What up, Twan?
Coach there. Three says my name is Zoe. Taker symbol there. This what's up. But man, I'll say this though. What got me rolling with the Pittsburgh Steelers is the fact that when they were trailing against the Packers, they refused to get away from that 3 tight end set. So that told me everything I need to know right there. They have no confidence in their other wide receivers at all. At all. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why'd you get rid of Pickens if you really don't like your second options like that? Like why? But that was my thing. So if they get down, that's it. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
All right. Broncos versus the Texans here. So Zoe, I'll give you the honors going first.
I like the Bronco defense, but for whatever reason, I'm hard headed, man. I think Houston gets a W, man. I'm hard. I don't know why. I like the Broncos defense, but I think the way that, like I said, the way the NFL is set up, I can see Houston getting a W at the crib.
I understand that. I understand that. You know what? I'm also going with the Houston Texans in
Oh,
this one,
don't
and I'm gonna
tell me
explain
that.
why. I'm gonna explain why in a second. One thing was exposed about the Broncos when they go against a very good defense. Now, just forget everything you saw against the Cowboys, because the Cowboys, no defense whatsoever. Think back to when they played Philly, and they or even when they played the Jets and stuff like that. Both of those games, the offense struggled to barely get, 13 points, 16 points. Houston's defense has been legit all season. They will shut down the Broncos offense there. It's just a matter of can Houston's offense move the ball there against the Broncos. And I have to believe that knowing that they're 3-4, and from what I saw last week was encouraging from the Houston Texans there, my man Nico Collins, he got to go out there and get maybe 1 or 2 deep touchdowns in this one. He got to get on fire somehow, some way in this one. And I think Houston wins a very close one. I'm going to call it 16-13. They win it with a game-winning field goal in the end. Houston gets the victory. The Texans set the Broncos. Samuel says he's gonna pick Houston. Okay, okay. Well, clearly we're part of that 17% of the population. Here,
Yeah.
let's see if we're all right. Mm. Jaguars versus the Raiders. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Jacksonville wins this one. 'Cause I don't know what Geno Smith is on right now. I just don't know. I know that Brock Bowers coming back. That will help a little bit, but I don't know what's going on with Jacoby Myers. Is he still playing? Does he realize he's still a part of the team right now? He clearly doesn't want to be there and stuff. It's a lot. So I'm gonna have to say Jacksonville wins this one because, quite frankly, how bad do the Raiders really want this? How bad? Zoe, who you got?
Man, Raiders coming off a bye week. They getting the weapon back on offense. I think Geno Smith watched some film the past week, during the bye week. And I like the Raiders defense though, and I don't trust Trevor Lawrence on the road. I'm going with the Raiders.
He said, give him the coat. Saints versus the Rams. So I'm gonna let you go first with this one.
Man, the Rams ain't too much to say.
Maybe you got the Rams as well, man. We'll be lucky if by the end of the third quarter there's still a reason to watch at this point. I mean, because isn't Alvin Kamara probably dealing with a little bit of an injury right now? They don't seem to want to use him too much. Chris Olave, aren't they shopping Chris Olave? Everything's going wrong. All it took was just Drew Brees to leave, and this whole team just fell apart. They've been falling apart still. It's like a tooth
Mhm.
that's just rotting right now. They need something major right now to shake things up because this offense is horrendous, and it's been that way for such a long time. And they've got to stop thinking that Taysom Hill is the antidote because he's not. So we've got ourselves a matchup here, though. Let's see. Essam says Jaguars bounce back against the Raiders. All right, bouncing back here. The Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills here. The Chiefs, who have been on fire as of late, the addition of bringing Rice back, that has, rejuvenated them. I can see the energy that he plays like a guy that, has been fresh because he hasn't had to play before. He's clearly been working out. But man, Buffalo at home, I'm going to say the Chiefs win this one 27-20. Kansas City wins this one, quite frankly, because Josh Allen, he needs a little help if he's going to win a game like this against a team like this, I feel like. Zoe, who you got?
I think I got to lean toward Kansas City, man. I don't like what I've seen out of Buffalo. They got beat by Drake May. Then they got whooped by the Falcons, if I'm not mistaken. And now you're going against the best quarterback in the NFL with a healthy offense. I gotta go with Kansas City.
Let's not forget Ed Oliver. I believe he's going to be out for some time there for Buffalo, and they lost one of
Yeah,
their only decent defensive linemen right now. So, yeah, the Chiefs should win this one. Emery says he's got both the Saints and the Rams. Let's see. Tree says, do either of y'all know about the corner that the Eagles traded for today? You don't know much about him. Who was the cornerback that they traded for today, Zoe? What team was he traded from? I know I seen it earlier, but I totally forgot.
I'm gonna tell you one
Let's see.
Eagle trade for a cornerback. Michael
Michael
Carter.
Carter was
He
second
nice.
in the
He
chat.
from the New York Jets.
Yeah, that's right.
He a nice corner. He just got paid, didn't he though?
Did he get paid recently? I feel like I did hear something about him getting paid a little while back. But yeah, I feel like that's a nice pickup there. Clearly
Yeah,
for the Jets, it was all about salary cap there. They know they're not going anywhere. So why retain a player that's going to, eventually leave you probably doesn't want to be there, wants to compete. So yeah,
yeah.
that's what that was about there. So the Eagles went and got a nice cornerback.
I like Michael Carter. He's
Yeah,
straight.
but going to add that extra depth out there, give you that. Yeah, that's a great move there by the Eagles. And they always find little wins like this. That's some sense. Rams win. The Mafia says, "Hell yeah, JJ back," and let's go.
I
Get
might
let's go.
I might go to a bar downtown and live stream that game. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Say what you gonna live it?
I might go to a bar with my cousins and live stream that game.
That's what's up. I
Yeah,
do
I
want to
might.
see you live that one because I can see it now, especially if it's close, like by the mid second quarter. Like a
Yeah, I might.
say 17-14 kind of game and stuff. I know you're gonna be hyped about that.
Yeah, I might do that game though. I ain't gonna lie.
You
Go
for your team though. You
go
got to.
to
'Cause this is the moment. You
yeah,
know.
go to one of the Detroit bar and live stream that thing.
Doesn't put 10 in a row. Let's see, just Pat the hard. Jets
JJ never lost the state of Michigan. Yeah, but shit.
one here. Does anybody know if Jaden Daniels playing like for sure or not? I know he's going to be practicing the rest of the week, but I've seen a couple guys lately practice and not play. So if anybody knows if he's going to be playing, but it matters not for me. Either way, I've got the Seahawks winning this one. When that defense is healthy, I really like that Seahawks defense. That's why I've got them in like
Yeah.
two of my fantasy football leagues there. Because when they're healthy, they have a great defense.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I will be live streaming that game from the bar, man. My cousin's birthday Monday too. We about to get lit.
oh, yeah,
What up, though, Angel? What's the deal?
Mafia said JJ never lost in the state of Michigan. Oh, word. That's impressive. It's impressive. Cardinals versus the Cowboys. And so, Zo, I'm gonna let you go first with this one here. Cardinals versus Cowboys.
The Cowboys at the crib. We know their offense can score points. I don't really care Kyler Murray playing or not. I think their defense gonna do enough to lower the Cardinals to probably about 10 points. I got the game being like 30-10, man. 40 is my total points for this game. Cowboys.
Okay. Yeah, I like the opportunity here for the Dallas Cowboys at home. It's a good chance to go 4 4 and
T-Bass.
1 and stuff. So I like the Cowboys at home. But Kyler Murray's supposed to be coming back this week, isn't he?
I'm not even sure.
I think Kyler Murray's coming back this week. So it'll be a nice one, but I still like what the Cowboys have on the outside in terms of being able to pass that ball. Dak's playing great. They're at home. So I'll give them the edge here against the Cardinals. E-Bass, what's good? Says it's the NFL, not college. That matters nothing. All right, now how many points do we project to be scored for the Cowboys and the Cardinals?
I have 40.
You say 40?
Yeah.
Gotta think about this one. I'm gonna say, I think there's gonna be some points scored in this one. I got a feeling some points gonna be scored in this one. So let me pull out the old handy dandy calculator here. Let's see.
You right. I'm gonna say 47.
Seems a bit high, so I'm gonna lower it. When you say 47, I'm gonna rock with 54. I'm gonna rock with 54. So that's all of our picks here for this week. Let's see. Samuel says he's got the Seahawks. Dustin's got the Cardinals. Okay. Samuel's got the Cowboys. Essam says the Cowboys beat the Cardinals. Essam says Brissett better than Kyler. Hey, he's been playing that way. That has been one thing that I was shocked about because the Cardinals, let's not forget, a couple weeks ago against Indianapolis, Jacoby Brissett almost beat the Colts in Indianapolis. He almost, that last drive, he just fell short there, but he almost led the Cardinals to a revenge game, I guess you can say, because that was the team that he did start with when Andrew Luck had retired. He was the quarterback next in line to take over. So can't forget that. The Cards upset. I could see the potential for an upset. I could. Well, let's go ahead now and switch over and take a look right now at the NFL. If the playoffs started today, this is what the playoff picture would look like. So I want us to actually see what this would look like if the playoffs started today. So let me. All right, can you all see this clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is what the bracket would look like today based upon how everybody stands in both respective conferences. And so as you look through this, which of these teams, I guess, stand out to you, Zoe, that you're like, you know what, based upon how the season's going so far, you could see a role for them to get to the Super Bowl.
Oh, they got Kansas City on here. I would say I like Indy, of course. I think they got a nice role. to get to Super Bowl because either the Buffalo or the Steelers, I think they could be. The Chargers or the Broncos, I think they can be. Jacksonville in New England, I think they could beat any one of them teams too, though. I like in the AFC side as of right now. But on the NFC team, the NFC side, uh, I gotta say the Eagles. I see somebody beat them. They went to Super Bowl last year, so I can't really put nobody above them until I see somebody really stump them in the playoffs.
Do you see any like teams that you're looking at right now? Let's focus on the 2 through 6 and stuff like that. Could be a potential upset based upon how obviously you got Green Bay at 1, you've got Indianapolis at 1 and stuff. But anybody that you're looking at, like if that team got hot at the right time, you could see them being a problem, for some of the higher teams in the conference. Like I'll go with mine first, for example. Looking at the NFC, I'm looking at a team like, obviously we know what Tampa Bay can do. We know what the Rams can do as well. The Rams last year showed that they were close to beating the Eagles there. So if a team like the Rams were to get hot at the right time, they've got the pieces in place. They've got the quarterback who has shown that he can win. Because some of these teams, they don't have that. You mentioned Indianapolis. They may not be a lock against a team like Pittsburgh or Buffalo, whoever wins that, because Daniel Jones in the playoffs. Can he elevate? That was the problem last year with Sam Darnold with you guys. He couldn't elevate in the playoffs. So are we certain that Daniel Jones can do it? Because you're going to be going against a great team in the playoffs, so they might be able to slow down Jonathan Taylor a little. So can Daniel Jones win it himself in the playoffs? That's the question. I know how you feel about Trevor Lawrence. I know how you feel about him in the playoffs. You probably figure one and done. You didn't even look in that direction. But can your
Nah,
boy Bo Nix do anything in the playoffs? Because I know that you also believe Justin Herbert's a fraud, and so you probably got the Chargers being bounced in this scenario. But can Bo Nix be a guy to go down to Indianapolis and beat them? Do you think?
I think Bo Nix probably could because it's indoors and I like that defense, but he would have to really put it all together in that game versus Indy though.
Hmm. Oh yeah, but I like these matchups though. These are some great matchups. Like SM said, a lot of great matchups.
Yeah, I like that Detroit and Seattle. That's a good game, but I like Detroit defense. Well, I like said that'd be a good one though. But they on the road going
I was about
outside.
to say at Seattle though, that's the X factor in this
Yeah,
scenario.
outdoors. Probably gonna be raining, snowing, cold and shit. But like for some reason though, to me, maybe I'm just picky. But the Rams ain't been playing good ball on offense this year so far. I don't know what's going on with their offense.
Yeah, Puka Nakua coming back. I'm happy about that for my fantasy team. But you never know. Teams like that can get hot at the right moment because I feel like they
Right.
consistently are like what, like like always fighting for the NFC West. Then it comes down to whether or not they can win the division. But come playoff time, all of a sudden they're one of the toughest out. They get hot right at the right time.
So let me ask you this though. By looking at this list, which team do you see probably 4 weeks from now not in the playoff picture?
4 weeks from now, I can say I can see Jacksonville being out. I could see San Francisco being out. Those are the first two that come to mind because they keep getting hurt, coming
Yeah,
back and forth. They don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. Are they going to stick with Mac Jones or is Brock Purdy going to be there? Is either one of those really good for the playoffs? Their receivers are getting paid for nothing. They're always hurt, always hurt. And then last game, what we saw from Christian McCaffrey, absolutely nothing. Is this going to be the trend or was it just a bad game? So there's a lot of
right.
questions that they have. But those are the two I feel like are the most susceptible. Pittsburgh, we're talking 4 weeks from now, it may not look as pretty for them. It may not. They might still be there, but they may be on the verge of,
Yeah,
themselves being in some hot water. But those are the ones that stand out. Everybody else, I like where they're at. I got to see the Chargers schedule over the next 4 weeks to know specifically
right.
for them.
Yeah, I could really go saying I could really go what you said, like the 49ers and Jacksonville, and also got like the the Steelers on the list. Like you said, the Chargers too, though. Like it really the same team. But the NFC, I think all these teams is a lock besides the 49ers. I think the 49ers might lose that spot either to like a Commanders or like a Vikings if they can keep it rolling. But I don't see the 49ers making the playoff.
Some work to do. Because I mean, the NFC West, do I really think 3 teams are gonna get there in the playoffs? No, I think 2. I don't think
Yeah,
3 teams gets in there, and I think the 49ers will be the weakest link. So,
yeah, we basically got the same
he was
list.
right. Stafford did throw 5 touchdowns last game. Cause that game came on like what? Like early morning game was that? Or
Who do they
I
play?
remember who did the Rams just beat? I remember I was thinking to myself, I
Uh,
was so mad that Puka Nacua didn't play because I was like, if only what was that like 2 weeks ago that they played? I think they were just on a bye week this past
yeah,
week. So
that was
2 weeks
2
ago,
weeks.
I
That
think.
was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just had a bye week.
Like, who did they
The Jags.
the Jaguars.
We don't get no kudos for throwing on 5 touchdowns in London.
Man, the Jaguars. So
But shit,
speaking of the Jaguars,
before they played the Jacksonville though, they was at the Ravens and they scored 17-3.
I still believe in what the Rams got. Everything from the coaching staff to Matthew Stafford, and then a healthy Puka Nacua too. That'll go a long way. I trust the Rams more than I trust the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs, even if the Seahawks are at home. I think the
Okay,
Seahawks can match up well with some teams, but then again, can Sam Darnold elevate? I don't think he can elevate. I think Matthew Stafford can elevate, and that is why I've got more faith in the Rams. That and the coaching staff. I
right,
know that the Rams, they can at least, keep it to where end of the game, last 2 minutes, chance to win.
right.
That's the playoff picture. Now let's look at the NFL standings altogether. As it says, Stafford having an MVP season, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, protecting the rock. All right, so let me make sure that this is big enough for everybody to see. All right, so we start off with the AFC East. So Patriots atop that division right now. Look at that on the road, 4-0. I did not realize 4-0 on the road, but 2-2 at home. Got to win some home games. 5-game win streak though. Let's see. Bills, they're 5-2. Big matchup with the Chiefs for them. Really big because they do not want to lose another game right now. Dolphins, 2-6. Jets, 1-7. See North. So now that we look at these teams side by side, though, so now I'm seeing it's really just a 2-game difference here between Steelers and the Ravens because they have not played each other yet. So in all reality, if the Steelers just made sure that they beat the swept the I'm sorry, the Ravens sweep the Steelers just like that, then now we're talking about just that alone elevates them above there. You've got the Bengals at 3-5. What's the case with Joe Burrow? At what point is he supposed to come back? Because Joe
Right.
Flacco, that's a nice story, but when
So
does Burrow come back?
so look though, JB. Let's say this. Let's say the Ravens win on Thursday night, right?
Mhm.
Still lose to Indy Sunday. That's a 1 game difference.
That is that is so then so I can see where you're saying the Ravens are still in this. They're still very much in this. But if they somehow got upset by the Dolphins, they could find
Oh,
themselves possibly even in last place. But I'm gonna say this: don't lose to the Dolphins if you're the Ravens. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, it very well can come down to just like we thought before the season, where we know the Steelers and we know the Ravens, they're gonna be in contention to the very end. It's just you're asking the Ravens, a team that so far has only won 2 games, to be consistent and probably win at least, say, 4 of the next 5 ideally is what they're aiming for. So we'll
right.
see. FC South. So Indianapolis right now already pulling away 4-game win streak, 5-0 at home. 1 loss was to the Rams in a close one. You've got the Jaguars at 4-3, but you've got Houston saying, "Don't forget about us," at 3-4. And I feel like if the Texans and the Jaguars played again right now, I think the Texans would beat them. Then you've got Tennessee just hovering in the back, just giving everybody W's. I
Yeah,
forgot, who did Tennessee beat again?
I don't know.
Anybody in the chat remembers, who did Tennessee beat? Was it the Cardinals, or I don't even know who they got their win against. Let's see West. So AFC West, very interesting. Aside from the Raiders here, you've got the Broncos at 6-2. They're rocking a 5-game win streak. You've got the Chargers. They're 5-3 right now.
Yeah, they
You've got
beat the
the Chiefs
Cardinals.
also 5-3. It was the Cardinals. Okay.
Yeah,
And so, obviously, in my humble opinion, I feel like the Chiefs for sure are going to finish above the Chargers. That's just my opinion there. Now, as for the Broncos, now I give the Broncos a chance. They can win this division because of that defense and how that defense is going to match up against Kansas City. It's going to come down to Bo Nick handling key pressure situations in that game when they play the Chiefs. They have got to make sure they win those games against the Chiefs. Got to do it.
facts.
But that's how I see that one. But we know what the Chiefs gonna bring. It don't matter
Yeah,
if they're a wild card or not.
exactly.
Let's take a look at the NFC. NFC. So you've got the Eagles at 6-2. You've got the Cowboys right now at 3-4-1, and they are hitting on offense, but the defense, they got to get better defensively. Got to continue to keep getting better defensively. That's a work in progress. Jerry Jones picking up the phone, asking any and everybody, can we make a deal? I think he really wants Max Crosby on his team, but Raiders aren't going to do that because Max doesn't want to go nowhere. So why would
That,
you trade a guy
but
who's a
that's
star?
but Jay, that like for Mac, that's crazy, bro. And like to me, like I'm gonna be real with you. Like a player like him and Myles Garrett, I don't think Myles Garrett should make the Hall of Fame. Because I'm gonna be real with you. You had the chance to lead Cleveland. You had 5 sacks in one game and still lost by double digits, bro. Ain't nobody even talk about your 5 sacks. You just wasted your time. And at
I was
the
just
end of the
glad they
day,
took him out.
man, we need to hold players accountable. Because you should have left Cleveland when you had a chance. You don't play no big games. So I don't know. So I really don't know how good Myles Garrett is. What would he do in the big game? I don't know. Because I never seen him in the big game.
Well, I'd sure love to see him get traded to a contender and find out.
Man, that's crazy to me. Like, how much money do you want, man? Damn.
Well, he's getting paid. He's getting paid. I will say that. Let's see. Commanders at 3-5. They got the Seahawks coming up. They could very well fall to 3-6. It's tough for them. They need a healthy Jaden Daniels to come in. But that's the thing. When you have such success your rookie year, and then the next year you don't immediately find that success, the expectations are there. You know, like people are like, hey, you made the playoffs last year. Surely you can do it again. I was a little skeptical of, how the Commanders were going to be this year coming into the season. I really was. Because I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm not entirely sold. That's why in fantasy football, he was on my board, but he was like number 4 right after Jalen Hurts. 'Cause I was like, Jaden Daniels is small. He can get injured a lot. Do I know for a fact he can replicate the success at the same level that he did after watching my guy CJ Stroud fail to do it? Do I know that Jaden Daniels can do it? Not question the kid's talent. He's clearly talented, but that's just how I went into it. So them being 3-5, they've got some work to do if they're going to become a playoff team.
I kind of knew they're going to have a down year, man. Because like I said in the offseason, with a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal, you supposed to push as many weapons around the rookie quarterback, man. And I don't love their offense. I don't like their running backs. Don't like their wide receivers. I don't like shit about their offense but Jaden Daniels. Then you see a DK get traded. You see the Devontae Adams goes. Y'all ain't get nobody but a 40-year-old Debo Samuel who's a gadget wide receiver. Like, come on, man, upgrade that offense, man. What is y'all doing here on a rookie deal? Like, it ain't that damn hard. Go get a nice receiver or two to put with Scary Terry. They ain't gotta be the best receiver. Go get a Cooper, a Cooper. What the fuck is his name? The Cooper receiver.
You talking about not Cooper Kupp, are you?
Yeah, you could have got Cooper Kupp, and you could have got another receiver to go with Scary
Instead,
Terry.
instead they got Debo Samuel.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could have got two receivers to build that damn wide receiver. They offense, they got the worst offense in the NFC East for real. You don't want their weapons.
Mm-hmm. You're right. The fact that Zach can do as much as he does in his advanced age. Wait, why in the world? Who was it? The Broncos that brought in Mercedes Lewis for a tryout at age 41?
The
That man
Bears signed him.
retired, bro. Like they signed him?
Yeah, he on a practice squad, I believe.
Why? I don't get it. Why? Is he that great a blocker? Like,
I don't
why?
know.
Let the man retire. My man coming back like he got some gambling debts, man. Like, going on. That's the NFC North here. So, all right. Obviously, Packers right now 5-1-1. I've seen some good from them, but at the same time, I had some question marks early on when I saw them lose to the Cleveland Browns. You talk about the whole Myles Garrett thing there, but saw them lost to the Browns. I saw them tie with the Cowboys in a game where I felt that they should not have tied. That like obviously when you watch the game, that's different. But coming into the game, you would not have thought the Cowboys had a chance at that point in time. That's probably what turned the Cowboys season around, that game right there.
Right.
And obviously you got right behind them the Detroit Lions, in which they're gonna, have to match up against Green Bay again, try to get some payback there. You've got the Bears at 4-3 right now, Vikings at 3-4. So you got a lot of competition in this one. Tough division from head to toe, especially
Yeah.
if JJ McCarthy becomes the guy that Zoe believes he can be. If he becomes that guy, then there's no doubt you move the Bears down one, and then you have a three-team race like last year. Didn't
Yeah.
three teams get in from your division last year?
Uh,
And so you could have a scenario like that. Early tomorrow, Samuel, we all gotta get up. We gotta be up at like 5 a.m.
yeah, me
All right,
too.
NFC South, man. NFC South. When I first think NFC South, I think, all right, Buccaneers, and then everybody else is just fighting to see if somebody can sneak in. You would think that the Falcons would be the team that comes to mind, but they're inconsistent right now, and it irked me. You beat a team like the Buffalo Bills, but then you turn around and lose to the Miami Dolphins. Who is your identity, and why are we paying Kirk Cousins so much money if this is what you get in return from Kirk Cousins? I'd rather trust the man from the donut shop to go out there and run the offense than to trust Kirk Cousins at this point in time. Like if they were smart, they would have tried to find some way somehow to work it out with Cincinnati Bengals to get this man off the book somehow. Now I know the Bengals ain't got salary cap like that, but find someone to take it on because this got to be studied. My man fell off a cliff. I feel like right after the Falcons played you guys last year was right when he fell off completely. I'm talking about a sharp cliff, just nosedive right after that. So
Yeah, I
this
don't
got to
know
be
what
studied.
happened to Kirk.
As for the Panthers, Bryce Young, at some point, everybody's going to look at you and say, hey, we get it. We're 4-4, but we're tired of being we overachieved by being 500 on the season. At some point, that gets old. You got to go out there and prove why you were the number one pick. And we still waiting on that. You can't be, how can I put it? Somebody that gets hyped off of somebody else's hype. Rico Dotto went out there and got them W's. But yet he over there feeling confident, probably bumping his chest, thinking that he did it. No, you just hand the ball off. You're not contributing at all to this team's success. If anything, you holding them back. Now you're doing better than Andy Dalton, but they need more from the quarterback spot if they're ever gonna rise. What do you say, Zoe?
Man, I don't like. I like the Buccaneers in this division. The rest of the division, I ain't got no hope. Like the Falcons, what is we doing? I think Raheem Morris, depending on how they finish out, he come back next year. Depending on how the season go, he might get fired mid-season next year. Because there should be no reason why the Falcons got their ass whooped against the Dolphins. A soft ass Dolphins team, y'all can't even run the football. Ain't even try to run the football. So I thought the Falcons gonna be up there with the Buccaneers, but that ain't even the case.
Yeah, me too. Because John Robinson is so good. Drake London is good too. But what are you getting from Darnell Mooney? And how long is this Kyle Pitts experiment gonna continue to last? Because I'm tired of it. Every year it's the same thing. We hype him up in fantasy football. We say this is gonna be the year. Why? Because the man run fast. That's it. Come on, get a real tight end. Go in that market, call the Browns, say, hey, give us David Njoku. We'll toss you a 5th-round pick, and we'll cover some of the contract.
What
And it improves that way.
What do you do with the Panthers though?
You're the Panthers. You stop lying to yourself. You identify if there's a marquee free agent veteran quarterback that can come in and save you this offseason. I don't know who might be available this offseason, but if there's someone that you like, you make that deal. But if that don't work, you got to get a quarterback. But they need a veteran quarterback. They can't go draft another kid and stuff like that. You get a quarterback, you improve that offensive line, and you go from there. Bryce Young is not him. He is
I
not
agree
him. He's
with
too skinny. He's too small. He doesn't have a big arm, and he's gonna always cap the offense to where you have to be a scrappy offense. That's
he
not
from
gonna win you Super
he
Bowls.
from Bama, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
hmm Now you can try some things. You can call up again Cleveland, the willing trading partner. Ask, what can we get Jerry Judy, and try to connect him with another Bama guy, Jerry Judy. See if that helps him. But at this point, he's not gonna get you where you want to go. This
No.
team is already maximizing their potential, I feel like. And that's
Yeah.
that's that's the worst thing you want to hear as a GM. 4-4, you already maximizing your talent. As for the Saints, don't get me started with the Saints, man.
Yeah.
Don't get me started with the Saints. They've got no vision, they've got no plan, the pieces don't gel. It's bad. I don't know why Alvin Kamara wants to stay there. All right, but yeah, good night to you, Samuel,
He might
and see
love
you next
school in
time.
Louisiana.
So Zoe, I'm gonna let you go ahead because I feel like I've been talking a lot here.
Oh no, you
NFC West, what are your thoughts?
well, I think Seattle gonna finish strong. I like the Rams. Like this is a tough division right now, but I think the 49ers is gonna be the odd team out. I think the Rams and Seattle make the play. I think Seattle win the division because I feel like they could beat the Rams, even though I feel like the Rams beat them already, if I'm not mistaken. But I
Mhm.
like Seattle. I just want to see what Sam Darnold look like in the playoffs for real.
We we the 49ers right now, they've got some things to figure out at the quarterback position. How do you think they should play this one out? Do they just ride it the rest of the way with Mac Jones? He's a cheaper option, or does Brock Purdy need to come back?
I think Brock need to come back. You already paying him. You can't move off of him. Like he needs to come back. And I think Mac Jones, I don't know what the contract is in San Fran. I think he'd be a good fit to go to Carolina to play for a year so Bryce Young could sit and learn from Mac Jones. Because Mac Jones, it coming from San Fran, a good ran offensive coaching staff, and Bryce
Mhm.
Young can learn something from Mac Jones.
Well, how would you feel if Mac Jones, if you woke up and you found out in the offseason that Mac Jones ended up getting traded to Minnesota Vikings to compete with a guy like JJ? And again, if they're talking about competing, that means JJ didn't have the season that you wanted him to have, to where you felt like you had to bring a veteran in to compete with him.
Oh no, I'm pissed. Cause you let Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold walk out the building because you was convinced JJ McCarthy was ready, and you settled for a damn Mac Jones. Shit, somebody getting fired.
Because I'm trying to think of veteran quarterbacks that would be good to bring in for competition after the season. But yeah, I mean, Mac Jones is going to be one of those that's going to be brought in to compete with somebody.
For sure that.
All right, bet,
He
bet.
gonna get his chance.
Does anybody have any questions for us? I know that we are coming towards the end here. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah,
What did he just say?
man, talking about some damn Mac Jones to the Vikings. Shit, I seen enough. If we get another refurbished quarterback, man, I know something.
Because I feel like obviously Mac Jones is the only quarterback that I could think of that's it's going to be possibly on the move next season. That's getting some playing time now. But just a veteran quarterback, and again, this is only if JJ McCarthy goes out there and he just looks like he's lost, like he just doesn't elevate, doesn't give the Vikings what they look like, the potential of the offense doesn't reach it, and then you're not going to draft another quarterback immediately. I'm pretty sure.
And you a
So
damn
you
lie.
bring in someone to compete.
You lying to me. Shit, you lying to me. Shit, these next couple games are very important for his career in Minnesota. Shit, you a lie.
But yeah, good question for us. We're now at that 2 time you're gonna be going live, though? You said tomorrow or is it Friday?
I don't know. They gotta watch my channel. I might go live tomorrow if I can find somebody, or if I just go do the preview of the Lions and the Vikings game. But I will be going live for the Vikings and Lions game. I'm gonna go fall into a little bar with my cousins and uncle and watch the game live on YouTube. Put on my Vikings gear. You know what I'm saying?
Let them know. Gotta let them
Yeah.
know. Who does Michigan play this week?
Who do Michigan play? Let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Because I know Ohio State plays Penn State this week.
We play Purdue at the crib.
Oh, Purdue. Oh, that's one of those games. I'm not even turning on the TV. I'm just gonna mark the W there for Michigan and just let it be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead here. If there's no further questions from anyone here, we will go ahead and conclude this. And again, thank you everybody for coming through here. It's a great stream. Appreciate you guys really coming through. And man, I think the NFL season is just going by so fast, man. Not
I'm
just
sick about
NFL,
that.
college football too. This is
Yeah.
like the last major month for a lot of these teams that's not going to be playing like, bowl or college football playoff. So enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
They're going by
Right.
fast.
That being said, though, this is like, is this officially my last Oh, it's my last stream for the month because we're about to be in November, and then JB hits the big 3-2 on Sunday. But y'all will
Oh,
see me Saturday, though. Y'all will see me Saturday.
when your birthday? Was that the second?
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff and thanks. So yeah, appreciate that and appreciate you. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time. And again, thanks for coming through.